All right, so we've just finished up with our surprise lecture,
Yep.
and we've gone back to the Crested Kingfisher.
And we didn't put anybody to sleep.
No, it was
It
close.
was close. Yeah.
You'd think
Yeah.
the subject matter alone would catch their interest,
Yeah. Well, anybody can make something boring, I suppose.
especially when they have our charismas.
Yeah. We're not designed for public speaking, even with magic to help us out.
Mhm.
So we go back to the Crested Kingfisher. We have supper. We set up for our evening sleep.
Mhm.
Now, um, over the next couple of
No,
weeks.
just because it won't take much time at all, and because I forgot to mention it. So before we forget it again, I will resummon Alice.
All right, roll her hit points.
All right, hang on. I'm just looking for.
Oh, does that mean am I the one still keeping track of all
I'm
that stuff?
looking through my spell components. 1 second. Thought I saw. No, I do have some sets. There we go. I found them.
Oh, I'll have to use mine.
I picked some up recently.
All right, cool.
I have my character sheet, the component pouch is full of stuff.
Yeah, it's like almost a backpack by this point.
All right, so then that's a 1. It's only 1d4.
Yeah,
So she has 1 hit point again.
it doesn't matter.
There's
Anything
very
that's going
little.
to do them in is going to do them in anyway.
Yeah. So I still have 2 sets of the
All right,
components for that.
cool.
All right. So I'll do that the same day before we have our lecture before we go to bed.
Yep. All right. So the next day,
Yes.
going forward, we are planning some downtime because we've been burning the candle at both ends.
Yes.
And we do, I mentioned at the beginning of the session that I have a number of scrolls I want to make, some preparations, and I do want to work on hopefully successfully getting the ability to make the superior healing potions.
Yes.
Um, so this is going to take time. So just to go through this a little bit faster, a couple of days are going to go by here in relatively quick succession. We are going to notice one thing specifically during while we're not sitting in our rooms. We are going back and forth between the Crested Kingfisher and the Academy.
Yep.
Uh, we noticed a drop in population of the university, the Academy.
Yes.
A great many scholars have hired out adventurers. Actually, that's another thing we noticed in the Crested Kingfisher. We're the only ones there basically by the a couple of days that have gone by. Everyone else has been hired out, and a lot of the porters and pages and various people that would normally, and actually a fair amount of the White Knights, they have all boarded ship. They've all headed to Isle of Fog. There's still lots of transit back and forth. But yeah, it's like a university town during summer break almost, but not that bad. Obviously there's a great many people who have responsibilities here in town that they can't shirk. They have to, this place needs to be defended. But yeah, there's a definite decided drop in the amount of what normally would be running around as foot traffic.
All right then.
So one of the things I want to do is I want to try my second attempt. So I'm going to cast Enhance Ability.
All right. Oh,
And
1 second. I get 2 new portents, so these might be able to help you.
has to be at least a 16.
I do have a 16.
Perfect. I'll take it.
All right.
All right. So that's what I can do for today anyway.
Yes, that's your first success.
Yes. Batting 50%.
Yes.
So like I said, we don't spend all our time in our rooms because
So we're going to spend some time at the library by the sounds of it. And you said that there were places set up for scribing scrolls there.
oh yes. Oh yeah, it's much more ergonomical there because you're sitting at a proper stool, proper elevation for everything. It's a huge desk, it's at a tilt. And yeah, it's much more, it doesn't translate into any kind of benefit on your roll or anything, but it is.
I was coming to that.
Yeah, your character itself, like Aquans would find it much more comfortable, and so would Jonas to actually do it there. But no,
Right.
no bonuses.
But while you're working on your research,
Yep.
I'm going to start the process of replacing some of the scrolls I used.
Yep.
So I used 2 on the island. One is seen visibility. I'm just going to prepare that going forward, so I think I'm going to leave that one.
Yep.
I don't like this wet die. The other one I used was Ice Storm, which even though I have a second 4th level spell slot, I can only cast it so many times. So I think I'm going to start with that.
Okay. So 14.
Yes, and it's 200 of the 1,200 gold pieces worth of ink and paper I currently have.
Yep.
Oh, and it also takes 8 hours.
That's a full day.
Yeah. So basically, this is while you're doing your research, this is what I'm doing. All right, so no advantage, and I use my portent helping you out.
All right.
I get to add 5 to this, so I need a 9 or better. That's a 12. So plus 5 is 17.
More than enough.
More than enough. All right. So I can add Ice Storm back onto the... back to my new scroll case that I picked up.
So that takes care of our
First day.
montage day of downtime.
Yes.
Day 2, we are heading to
2 new portents.
Yep, we've had our breakfast. We're heading to the academy. When we get interrupted on our way there, it's not a white knight. It is one of the the suburban guards.
All right, so just the watch.
Yeah, it is a watch officer, but he's not a white knight. But he was apparently Aldrich is really busy dealing with the issues that they had with that necromancer. He has a lead that he's working on. He can't spare time right now. So he sent this guy to come and find us, and hopefully we will help him out. And of course, we'll liaison with Aldrich at some point.
Okay. What's that?
The problem is apparently there's been a robbery. A robbery in a jewelry store remember from the first description, there's a lot of districts, like this whole area around here is a lot of shops and inns, restaurants,
Yes.
all kinds of stuff. It is the higher end of the suburbs for retail. Apparently one of them got robbed, and he was asked. I said Aldrich was busy, so we were asked to have a look at it. So we head there.
Okay.
As it turns out, it's a nice shop, and he says the odd part is, and he takes us around to the side of the building. The entire side of the building has been it's been broken outwards. The side of the building is gone.
Okay. So not a subtle robbery then.
No.
I mentally think to myself, well, that rules Bree out.
Yeah, she doesn't quite knock down buildings.
No, she can teleport through walls with that ring she has.
Yeah.
However, she is clearly up to something, but this is separate by looks of it.
All right. So
Obviously, that was internally. I didn't say any of that out loud.
yeah. But by the way, you should look up Bree. Yeah, no. All right. The way in the building is pretty straightforward for us at the moment.
Yes. I'm going to investigate the scene of the crime with your assistance, I assume.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
one of the other skills. Sorry?
Yeah, investigation now, right?
Yes, one of the skills I picked up with my skilled feat was investigation.
All right.
All right. Plus 8 is 22.
All right. This is what you find.
All right.
It indeed looks like something has basically put pressure on the inside of the wall of this building, and a sufficient amount of pressure that it just tore through the fabric of the building. Excuse me, and knocked it all into the alleyway. Now,
So this was broken from the inside?
Something from the inside put pressure on the wall and basically just tore all the material and shoved it outward.
So this looks like it was done through physical strength, not magic.
Well, hold on a sec. We're gonna go into the building.
Yes, I assume there's a check involved with that in determining that.
We're gonna get there in a second. And the guy or guide or the head of the watch, actually not the head of the watch, just a watch officer, says, according to the owner, all jewels and gold are missing. You see, there are still some items there, mostly silver, some polished artwork, that sort of stuff. I guess not considered valuable enough are still there. And he says, this is the safe, and the safe has had the front door ripped off. And it's empty. Well, there's some paper there and stuff.
Yes, but everything of value has been taken.
Yeah, platinum, gold, all that stuff's gone. And jewels, of course.
Okay, then.
So now I would like a separate investigation check. Sorry. You want to know if there's magic involved, so that'd be an Arcana check. Let's start with
this
that.
would be Arcana. I don't have detect magic going. I don't know if that would help here.
Okay.
Probably not. So, it's still a 23.
You feel that this was just brute force.
Okay, that is a bad sign, I think.
Something physically was strong enough to just rip that wall apart.
And the safe door off. And then make off with all the valuables.
I'd like you to roll a... well, you don't have it, but I do. Unfortunately, it doesn't help you. I would like you to roll a survival check, please.
Yeah, I do not have survival.
You can have advantage because I'm definitely helping you.
Yep. 15.
All right. This is a shop.
Yes.
And normally it has a lot of traffic. So you can't really tell anything about footprints. But you do notice there are some rather extensive scoring on some of the floorboards, and then there's definitely a rend of something sharp pried open the safe. But you can't.
As in something with really sharp claws and strong hands?
It's hard to say.
Okay.
But either someone stuck a rather sharp metal object into there and pried it open the safe. That happens to be really quite strong. But then again, that doesn't account for the fact the wall's been pushed out.
No, it does not. So something, or and I'm going to say something at this point, with incredible strength, decided to rob this store.
Yes.
All right. Now, robbery is usually a humanoid motive. Usually. most monsters we run into are not interested in. Well, some are interested in shiny objects, but usually they don't go to this extent to do this.
No.
There's also two very obviously contrasting visuals here. First of all, there's no sign of forced entry of getting in to this shop.
Nope.
But for some reason, afterwards, whoever or whatever did this decided to use a great deal of force to get out again, even though they got in without using any of it.
Yeah. I think you surmised it quite efficiently. Actually, you can have a point of inspiration for that.
Oh.
That pretty much covers it.
Thank you. That might go towards making a scroll.
So,
all right. So we're dealing with an incredibly powerful creature that has a fondness for treasure.
I see that smirk.
I mean, there's one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
I mean, we should probably look into this and do a bit more research before we throw any names around.
All right, so we're here investigating, and you know that the usual watch in here, they usually travel around in little platoons, squads, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
One of those comes marching up, says, I'm not going to give these guys names because they're never going to show up ever again.
Fine, yeah.
He talks to the watch officer that says, this might be related. And it says, they basically, once we leave here, we head out to one of the farms in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, one of the farmers has complained because some of his cows have gone missing. It's a Tremors reference. I know.
That's no, okay. It's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what this was all for. I'm just taking this all in.
Yep. So we go out there because, again, it might be related.
Yeah.
And we come to a farm. It's a field. There's cows. Apparently, there's supposedly less cows now. This is going to require another investigation check, please. Because of the amount of area, we're going to eliminate the advantage.
So advantage and disadvantage will cancel out, you mean?
Yeah. Just
all right. Okay. That's still a 21 total.
Oh, good God. I'm gonna rue the day that you got that skilled feat.
I get to add 8 now.
Yeah. So we definitely notice that well, first off, the animals are a little bit skittish. Something's happened.
Because now there's fewer of them.
Yeah. When there's a school of fish or a flock of birds or whatever, and all of a sudden some of them are missing, the ones that are left aren't happy about it. And these are definitely not happy about it. I would like you to roll a survival check, please.
Yes, because I'm definitely looking for tracks.
Again, the advantage and disadvantage cancel out because of the area involved.
I have far worse at survival, so that's a 10.
Well, I didn't really set the DC for this because, well, it is relatively obvious in some ways.
Okay.
There are impressions on the ground. Impressions of something very heavy. You can't really tell what it is from that, but something has depressed the ground.
Okay.
So
something heavy. Does it have clawed?
Something very heavy.
Sorry?
Something very heavy.
Something heavy? Something clawed? Can't tell.
It was too low a number.
Okay. Is there a clear set of tracks leading up to the farm and then away?
No.
So that means we're dealing with a creature that can fly, in all likelihood.
That is one way of looking at it, yes. Something landed here, had lunch, and left.
After potentially robbing a jewelry store.
They may be connected.
They may be connected. I know that there's two mysterious things going on.
Yeah.
All right, then.
One sec. Let's see if my brain's working. Let's get back here, you. Nope. My brain's not working.
Well, there's an obvious name that comes to mind for a creature that can do all this. However, before we start throwing that name around, we should probably look and do a bit of research into this, I think. Since we now have access to an entire library's worth, we might find something else that could be responsible for all this.
Okay. We head back. The tide has come in, so we'll have to fly over.
Yeah, well, we can do that now.
Yep.
And no one's going to bother stopping us at this point, I don't think.
Nope. We can fly all the way to the academy, actually.
We'll stop outside the gate and show our guild crests just for the show of it.
Yep.
We're still relatively new at this, but just to not ruffle any feathers, we do not have to.
All right, so we do that. All right, this is going to be an investigation check in an immense building. So we can ask questions. We can narrow down the search. But I think this is all just going to be a straight roll.
It's fine. All right. We're going to take all the information we have. A creature strong enough to tear off a safe and break through a stone wall. Fondness for treasure. Fondness for eating cows. Heavy set and quite possibly capable of flight.
Yeah.
Most thing is curious to see how long we can dance around the subject without saying its name.
Roll.
All right, so investigation is +8, but that's a low roll. That's a 14.
All right. There are a number of possibilities. The turning point, I think, in this investigation is the fact that it did not tear its way into the building.
No.
It was not spotted on the way into the building. So that means whatever it is not always large.
No.
The conclusion you come to, which I think you, from the smirk on your face, they already.
I mean, they're in the name of the game.
Yes, it's
so
likely a dragon.
We're dealing with a dragon.
A dragon who can change form, and for some reason, it is poking around
discreetly.
Yes.
All right. It is also behaving, and this is a minor point, in a way that is not necessarily moral. It minorly, I suppose, technically.
All right. Eating cows.
Yes.
Doesn't count.
That doesn't count. We do that. Just not whole cows.
Yeah. Usually cooked.
Yes, cooked, and usually in the form of steak or something. But we still do eat the meat of cows.
Yes, we have eaten many stews
and so do wolves and lions. That doesn't make them evil.
No. Robbing a store does not make it evil either.
No, but from what limited knowledge of dragons I have, they tend to towards extremes. There aren't many neutral ones as far as I know of.
Yeah. So
that doesn't narrow it down at all. There's still many, many, many types of dragons.
Yes, this is an individual. We'll just leave it at that for the moment.
Yeah.
Who is intelligent, controlled, stealthy, and is taking advantage of possibly a current situation, seeing how things lie.
However, not intelligent, stealthy, and self-controlled enough to not simply just exit the way they came. I guess after they tore the safe door off, figured it wasn't going to matter anymore.
All right. Assuming that you're correct.
Assuming that's a dragon.
A shape-changing one, apparently.
That
My
implies one of a certain age.
Yeah, it got in through some means as a non-dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Assume got stymied by a safe because it's whatever shape it is and it can't deal with it. Decided that, well, I want what's in the safe. Shape changed into its really large, bulky form, which probably didn't fit in the shop anymore. Ripped open the safe, took what it wanted, and well, it was already leaning against the wall anyway. It made its way out.
And it had lunch, stop for lunch on the way.
Yeah. Well,
now, here's the thing. A dragon, as you've covered, is pretty large and massive. Even wormlings are still close to humanoid size.
Yep.
No one noticed this?
We did not ask.
Well, there was no one who mentioned a dragon.
No, if people were going around screaming dragon, I think it would get heard.
Yes, but this both these crimes, for all intents and purposes, went undiscovered up until this point.
Yes.
So
it happened in the middle of the night, apparently.
Yep.
Now, during the festival,
yes,
there are people up all hours.
Yes.
But now this is, well, it's suburbia. People go there to sleep. At night, farmers are in bed. Less likely to be noticed. The watch has a night patrol, of course. But something of intelligence could easily avoid them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, crooks in general can do that.
Yes, I'm just thinking of the fact the one other thing I do know about dragons is that, including to shapeshifting, after a certain point in time, they learn to cast spells.
Yes, depending on what age we're dealing with.
We don't know. I'm just going to assume it's something of relative large size and strength. That's all dragons.
Not wormlings.
Wormlings are still fairly strong by humanoid standards, but yes.
Not this looks your impression of the impressions
yes
is something in the huge category, not something large. It was huge.
Okay, so wormlings are about medium.
Yes.
The next age category up tends to be the next size category up, so we're dealing with an adult,
possibly.
And the older these things are, the more dangerous they are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, because they grow basically their entire lifetime.
Yeah.
And
is not a small creature.
No.
It is not a young creature.
And it is not a stupid creature.
And it is cautious. It's testing. It's poking around. It is looking for chinks in armor and seeing what it can get away with. I assume, because we've already talked about it, if this thing is true, its main target, is probably stuff inside the walls.
Yes, it's testing what it can get away with. This is a game of cat and mouse, which, to be fair, again, I don't have extensive knowledge of dragons, but there's a few of them who enjoy that sort of thing.
Anything intelligent that's lived a long time probably gets bored, wants to try stuff out. And yeah, it's possible.
Okay. So we were already going to meet with the Archmage.
Yeah, we can add this to the pile if you like.
We cannot even ignore the possibility of a dragon being this close to Lyria.
All right. So we flew back. We did our research. We are already at the academy.
He did invite us. I think it's time we go pay him a visit.
All right. Well, you just don't wander into his apartments that way.
No, but I assume there is someone we can talk to send word.
Yeah, we go down to the main central area. That desk, that circular desk I mentioned. well, basically it's a counter that's in a circle. And we mentioned that we have an appointment at some convenience with the Archmage.
Yes, to discuss the events on the island with him.
Yeah. So they send a runner up.
Yep.
They go up and talk. 10 minutes later, that individual comes back and says, you can actually go up.
All right.
So we have a escort guide.
For all intents and purposes, yes. So we know where to go.
Young fella shows us how to go, where to go. It says, there you go. Knocks on the door. The familiar voice says, enter.
All right. We go in.
We go in. We are now in the Archmage's
personal quarters for all intents and purposes.
It's not, yeah. This is not like, when we ran into Vapula and all these other would-be gods.
No, this is a wizard's study more than anything.
Yeah. Somewhere in there is a bed.
Yeah.
There's many desks. There's many tables for all sorts of stuff set up.
Yeah, this is a
dream setup for wizards.
Yes, because he is basically the dream that a lot of wizards aspire to.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of equipment. He obviously dabbles in making potions, scrolls, magical items, just general research in general. I mean, there's tons and tons of books. There's stuff laying here, there, and everywhere open. One assume that there's some sort of organization to it, but he is definitely someone who spends a lot of his time just figuring out the multiverse.
Yes.
So he comes in, says, "Oh, excellent, come on in." Hold on a sec. He clears a couple of spots, and we find a couple of chairs, and we sit down, and says, "Yeah, I asked here because recent events. I have checked into a couple of things, and I've had a few people check into a couple of things. You remember there was a necromancer somewhere in our midst who was siphoning the life essences of children."
Yes, the the artifact we found.
Yes.
In the underneath the city.
Yeah, I did a preliminary examination of that before it blew up, and then I'm getting reports back. A few people who can, teleport in and out, and I've been there myself to check.
Yes, we probably should have mentioned the fact that there's probably a few more you can look into now.
Yes, I noticed that you omitted certain things, which I actually do appreciate, by the way.
Well, here's one other thing we did omit. We encountered someone on the island, as in a person, who was in the same area as those devices. I assume that this individual came aboard in the same ship we did, stealthily. We had a brief confrontation with them before they left, and we haven't seen them since. We don't know if they survived.
Roll an insight check.
Oh, insight. Okay. 11. That was really low.
He doesn't look even remotely surprised.
When we took the view that this is probably not the sort of thing that should become public knowledge.
No, it has come to my attention that certain artifacts were being smuggled out of there. Didn't know how. We assume that they have a way of getting in and out. This is not something I wanted to get around.
There was mention in the notes of a key. That's all it was referred to as.
Yes. So, the person who was coming and going from the island was obviously either bringing just research or also artifacts, and that's the cause for that one thing. And I suspect that the individual who was on the island is either no longer with us or is very, very good at hiding their tracks, as I've been looking. And yeah, this is an individual who is being very skilled at keeping out of the limelight. Still looking for them. Aldrich is heavily involved, of course, and we do have other people just constantly looking now. Now that we have access to the island, that means that they do not, which is wonderful. So we are gradually, lessening their ability to act. Hopefully they'll make a mistake. We'll see.
Well, one of the reasons we came directly here is there's been an incident outside the city walls which felt needed to be brought to someone's attention and authority. And since we've already come to speak with you, it seemed like a good time to bring it up.
I don't hear everything. So to what are you referring?
Well, it's going to seem very minor by comparison, but it still has raised a great deal of concern based on what we've discovered. A local jewelry store has been broken into, or should I say, broken out of, by something with incredible strength, physical strength. As far as we can tell, no magic was used in the destruction of the safe that the gems and gold were stored in, nor the relatively large and presumably sturdily built wall of the building, which was broken out from the inside. And in addition to this, we also discovered that several cows apparently have gone missing. And I'm going to go into detail describing the various things that we pointed out, in addition to the scar marks, the lack of tracks, the likely fact that the creature was capable of flight, the fact that it used no physical strength to break in to the jewelry store. And when all those facts started piling up, we went to the library to look into it, and we came to a conclusion of a very specific type of creature responsible for it.
A dragon.
Yes.
There you go. When the things are starting to settle down. That is very interesting. Definitely thank you for bringing that to my knowledge. I will have a look, of course. Check into it myself.
I'm just I know technically normally I don't make rolls myself, but there's just one intelligence check I would like to make, just to see if Aquans can connect something.
Right.
It's a 16. I don't know if you would allow me to add anything more onto this or not.
I don't know what you're.
It's about a minor incident that we encountered before we left for the island.
The blue-eyed girl and the cat.
Yes. Would you allow me to bring that up here?
Sure.
All right, and while we're on the subject, there was one other thing we did notice before we even left for the island. Bring up the mention of the cat and the rather cruel, almost sociopathic child we encountered, who could sense us with basically us trying to sneak and follow after her with great ease, and then vanished. I don't know if it's related. All of this could just be paranoia for all we know.
Well, it's only paranoia if you're wrong.
Yes, that is true. But these things are starting to add up a little bit, and there's just another thing I just net once I thought the possibility of us dealing with a dragon, that did strike me as odd.
Well, let's just put it this way. It is awfully coincidental for these events to be coming to the head right now when a sizable portion of our fighting force and wizards are all going gaga over an island, and
yes,
are all over there doing research. It is a point when we are probably been at our weakest in hundreds of years. There are a number of individuals that are going to take advantage of that.
Yes.
Initially, my concern was when all this was happening that the necromancer might make an additional play for something. Hard to tell. A dragon is obviously astute enough to test our resources and our resolve, and of course our ability to defend ourselves. in a way that could be very detrimental to the city.
Yes.
We're not defenseless, but
No, but a good deal of your defenses are now on an island, which is several days' sail from here.
yeah, I mean, all our senior faculty, well, half of them are going to go. I mean, I'm not going. Well, I could
Well,
go.
you can go because you can come and go as you will. We've seen you do it.
Yes, I can, as you say, teleport there and teleport back, and I do have been there twice since we've spoken. But I have to be very careful about that
Yes.
because, yeah,
And if I have experimented with teleportation magic myself, even not to that extent. However, I know there's teleporting oneself or a small group is one thing, but a large group is another thing altogether.
true. Currently on the island, there is no one capable of the spell teleportation. They can, of course, use the teleportation circle, which is in. I don't know. Have you seen it? It's in the. It's downstairs.
Yes, I don't know if we've actually been to it yet.
I
But
don't
we
think.
cannot cast teleportation circle just yet.
No, you'll get there. I have no doubt.
However,
So
that does again bring up the point that from defense wise, a large number of Lyria's defenders are currently stranded on an island, which that they have the quickest way back is by boat.
yes, and boats can be sunk. This is
Especially by
very,
dragons.
yeah, this is very concerning. I'm going to definitely go and look into that. Please excuse me. I'm going to go do that now because it's not something I can wait. I would like you to do one more thing for me. I know you've done so much, but this is important. Could you please go to the Undercroft? Aldrich is currently checking into one lead. It's, you know where it is. It's the spot that where
Yes.
the device blew up. And then he's with that, he casts a spell, turns into a small bird, flies out a window.
Okay. All right. So we'll leave. Obviously, we don't want to intrude in his study when he's not present. As tempting as that probably would be.
You notice that he is literally not even remotely concerned about our integrity.
No, and also he's probably got a whole bunch of defenses in here that make our security measures look like nothing.
Well, unless you want to go poking around, you won't know.
No, that's we should probably go talk to Eldrick.
Yeah, so we go out.
All right.
Close the door. By the way, the latch being locked once we leave.
Okay, so it's got an auto-locking door.
Yeah. And we go down a bunch of flights of stairs into the main area. And then
we know where the Undercroft is.
Yes.
We were there. How far, because you don't want to go swimming, I suspect.
I'm not swimming. There are ways down through the inside of the city.
I could teleport us there if you wanted it. I do have Dimension Door.
Yeah.
I haven't done any really major spell casting these past few days, so I have all my spells.
We can Dimension Door if you really don't want to go down the stairs.
We can take the stairs. It's fine. The problem is with Dimension Doors, I don't know the exact everything it looks like down there at the moment.
All right, so we talk to, well, it's the White Knights in here. They're the security. We find an access panel. We find out where he is.
Yes.
We go through. Well, basically, it's just a grate in the cobblestones.
So just to be clear, we're informing Aldrich that in addition to everything else that's going on, there might be a dragon.
Oh yeah, we're the bearer of wonderful news. Oh, by the way, buddy, have some more on your plate.
Good news is, I think Rosemary might have a sword of dragon slaying.
So yeah, so we go down, and indeed, Aldrich is there. He has this weird. All right, it's not weird looking. And it's basically a lens. It has a really nice metal filigree surrounding on it, like well, basically it's the frame it sits in, and it has It looks like a magnifying glass,
Okay.
except it's not an ordinary one. He's looking for something, and he's looking through it. All we see is him, and he says, "Hold on a sec." And he's looking for something. We don't know what it is. And he says, and he finishes. He says, rubs his eyes and puts it away and says, "Hey, how you doing? What's up?"
Well, apparently there's more going on at the moment. We just came from speaking with Master Malzra.
Oh yeah. I sent that watch officer to have a look at you guys. Something about a break-in.
A rather unusual break-in, in the fact that the store was not broken into so much it was broken out of.
All right. Well,
And I filled him in on everything again that I filled the Archmage in, and then I also bring up the conclusion that all three of us have come to so far, which is the fact that there might be a dragon interested in Lyria. Well, it's vulnerable.
Sigh of exasperation.
Yeah, that was exactly our thought too. Actually, no, ours was a bit more panicky.
Okay. So you also mentioned the fact that Archmages went to have a look at this, right?
Yes, he did. Well, he flew off somewhere, so he's going to investigate everything and maybe possibly try and bring back some of Lyria's defenders.
So yeah, something's going on.
Something is going on. This massive expedition to the island is being taken advantage of by several parties, by the sounds of it.
Yes. Well, I had a meeting with the Archmage earlier yesterday, I think it was. He seems a little befuddled because he's, like I said, he's doing an awful lot. And sometimes when you're really, really busy, it's hard to keep timelines straight. And it says, you saw that device I had. We are trying to pen in this necromancer, which we thought was a bad enough thing to worry about.
And I'm good. Yeah. I'm going to also bring up that we basically everything we talked about the Archmage about the devices we found on the island and the operative we found there.
Yes, Archmage didn't mention saying anything with that, but Aldrich is trusted, so that's not a problem. And apparently, this does surprise him a bit. He was unaware that there was another individual on the island. He was abreast of the fact that some technology, arcane technology, was being used, obviously, in this device. That had to come from somewhere. But apparently, now that he knows that's from there, that makes an awful lot of sense.
Yes.
So
clearly, that island hasn't been inaccessible as long as everyone has thought.
Yes, that is knowledge that should not get out.
No, there are many, many nasty things on that island, and I'm hoping the best case scenario is whoever's responsible for this got a few artifacts and some arcane knowledge off of there, and not some of the various creatures that we had to encounter.
Well, they're being very subtle. They're difficult to track down. So I assume that they're not harboring mutants and zombies and stuff. But anyway, yes, thank you kindly.
It never rains, but it pours.
Yeah. Well, I will continue my investigation here, and I'm sure the Archmage will, if he comes up with other things for me to look into, I'll look into those things as well.
All right.
So he goes back to doing what he was doing, and then I assume we head back up.
Yes. So I assume this has been a lengthy day because we've worked an investigation, research, and then 2 major discussions into it.
Yeah, you can't really make any scrolls today because we are mentally already quite spent.
Right.
We'll call that a day. And then what I'm going to do is a couple days are going to go by. Nothing's really going to happen. So you can make some more scrolls. I am going to try and get another success on my potion of superior.
Right. So the next day,
Yep.
I'm going to All right, I just have to think of it for a second. Yes. All right, I am going to prepare another 4th level scroll, this time of one of my new spells that I got for reaching level 8. One of my new 4th level spells.
And that would be.
All right, so I'm going to prepare locate creature going forward at the moment because I have the spell component for it now.
Yep.
But I'm going to prepare a scroll of control water, which is the other spell that I picked up.
Oh, all right.
That's also a 4th level scroll, which means it's another 200 gold with ink and paper, another 8 hours. I rolled a 19 for the portent for this day, so I'm going to use that.
Yep.
So before I even add my modifiers, I can do that. And for that day, I'm going to prepare a scroll of control water because it's a bit more niche, especially when we have a potential dragon running around now. Locate creature might come in really handy.
Sure. I am going to go through the process of enhanced ability and luck and see if I can get a second success here.
Yeah, I don't. My other portent was a 7, so I can't help you.
If I roll above 10, I'll be impressed. 1 point of luck.
All right.
That's a 4. Second point of luck. It's a 13. It's above 10 finally. Last point of luck.
Are you rolling twice?
I rolled advantage first.
Yes.
But then luck, it's just single rolls.
Okay.
Last point. Is that a 16 or a 15? Crap.
I cannot see, so.
Oh, it's a 16. I thought it was a 15 for a second. I was going to be so upset. So 16 plus my modifiers.
That's second success.
Second success.
You're doing better.
That's only because I succeeded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it had me worried there for a second. I was looking at it. Is that a 15?
All right, so with the control water scroll, that brings me up to 6 scrolls in the scroll case. I think we discussed the scroll can hold the case can hold up to 10 scrolls.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So it's at 6 currently.
Yeah. Well, our bags of holding are always the ones that are always on top. So whenever we want it,
yes.
Whatever we want is there. So you can always use that. You can always commission Rosemary to make you a scroll case of holding.
It's fine. I don't mind this.
It is not a big stretch to do that instead of a bag of holding. It's hardly a big change in the magic involved.
No.
It's just the shape and what it will hold.
Yes.
All right, so that day goes by. We are bleary-eyed. We eat and we walk around. Just get some fresh air.
Yep.
Eventful happens. Another day. Is there any more research you'd like to do?
I think I'm gonna make one more scroll at least.
Right, I'm gonna take a day off of the superior potion thing, and I'm gonna.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a scroll.
Sure, because I just rolled a 16 and a 19.
Oh, well, I planned on doing that, but now that you told me that, I will definitely not bother even rolling. Yeah, it gives me my 3 successes.
Yeah. I'll give you the 16 because that's all you need.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Either of them are good enough for me. I'm going to make a 2nd level scroll this time. I'm going to make a scroll of web.
Yeah, I think I have one of those already.
I did cast the spell on the island, and it was moderately useful. So I think going forward, I'm just going to keep a scroll of it.
Yeah.
So that's only 100 gold and 4 hours because web's conjuration, not divination. So my savant skill doesn't help.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's another one of those niche spells every now and then it comes up, but it's not the kind of thing that you prepare regularly because it's,
Right, and that brings me up to 7 scrolls in the case.
Yeah, that's lots.
That is a lot. Yeah. So I currently have banishment, control water, ice storm, knock, remove curse, stone skin, and web.
Yeah.
That covers a lot of bases.
Yeah, that's very good. I have all the ones we bought. A few others.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so you used your the 16 for the last success.
Yes, so I can now make superior potions.
Once we get the powdered hydra husk. Shed skin? I honestly don't know if there's a proper term for that beyond shed skin.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, in order to do that, we need to find a hydra. I do have locate creature prepared now.
I don't think there's one inside the city walls.
I don't think there's one within the city limits.
Yep.
Otherwise, Rosemary would have a supply of that, I suspect.
Yeah, I think in a few days, now that I know I can make them, we can go and talk to her.
All right. Just because Aquans is getting a little nervous about the fact that there might be a dragon nearby, I do have the spell, and we're not going to be doing much else today, I don't think.
What spell are you going to do?
All right. I'm going to take out from my component pouch the forked twig, the fur of the bloodhound, and a bit of twine. I'm going to wrap the bloodhound fur around the twig and tie it to it with the twine to basically combine the two spell components because they don't have to have them separately. Yep. So this will simplify it going forward. I'm going to take the twig with the bloodhound fur attached, spin it in the same field of blue rippling energy I use for locate object, and cast locate creature. I don't even know if this will work. 1 second, but this is something Aquans will definitely try.
What are you going to look for?
That is what I'm. All right, locate creature. Describe or name a creature that is familiar to you since the creatures. You may locate a specific creature known to you or the nearest creature of a specific kind, as long as you've seen such a creature up close within 30 feet at least once. I definitely haven't done this, but Aquans would definitely cast locate creature looking for the nearest dragon.
Okay, you've never seen a dragon.
I have never seen a dragon. Also, if there's one other problem with this spell, it cannot locate a creature of running water of at least 10 feet wide, blocks a direct path between you and the creature, and we are on the coast.
All right, where are you casting this?
Or it would basically be the last thing I think we do before we go to bed, before we return in for the day.
All right. And are you informing me that this is what you want to do?
Just going to give this a try. I said it's probably not going to work, but I'd be a fool not to try this.
I have a suggestion before you do that.
That we exit the city?
No, it's fine doing it here.
Okay.
But you might get more success in the suburbs. But before that aside, I suggest that you search for a certain blue-eyed child we saw.
All right. The problem with there's one other thing about the spell. It is fallible, and particularly to any creature that can alter its shape or form, such as with the polymorph spell or shape change ability. So let's put it this way: if this is a dragon, and that dragon is no longer in the form of that child, the spell will automatically fail.
I guarantee if there's a dragon sitting on the roof of our building, people probably would have noticed already.
Yeah, I know. I'll search for I can actually search for both. I can cast a spell twice.
All right, so where do you
return in?
Sitting in our room?
Yes, I think so.
All right.
I mean, the odds are against this working, but Aquans would try this.
I'm going to set a percentage chance that this theoretical creature is currently wandering around in the inner city of Lyria.
All right, so I would search in order. I would search for the dragon.
All right.
And then for the blue-eyed child that we saw.
Okay. I don't need a roll for the dragon.
All right, so that fails.
That fails. Now, I am going to see if that blue-eyed child is wandering within 1,000 feet of us.
Yes.
And she is not.
Well, there's no point in having access to all this divination magic if you do not use it.
True enough.
Yeah. I'll return now the combined spell components to my component pouch. I'll leave them like that going forward because they're spells with similar purposes.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
And I guess we turn in.
We turn in. During the middle of the night, the klaxon goes off. We've heard this once before.
We have.
We know its intent and purposes.
Yep.
We don't know specifically what the alarm is being raised for, but it wakes us up and we are alerted to the fact that something's wrong.
Okay. I really wish I hadn't cast 2 4th level spells.
Yeah.
Are we going to go out and take a look at this, I guess?
All right, we exit Rosemary's. No, sorry. We exit the
Crested Kingfisher.
Crested Kingfisher. Who was in charge of this place? Can't remember her name.
Cathra, I think.
Yes, right. That's right. It's very similar to Kaylin. All right, we go outside. Same tower as last time. Is running a klaxon. There's
all right. Let's go see what's going on this time.
Fewer white knights of Lyria running around.
Yes.
We do have the ability to fly now.
Yes. I am going to take to the air this time, mostly because I'm going to be on the lookout for a creature in flight.
All right. So we fly up. We head towards this wall, I assume.
Yeah.
I would like you to roll first off a generic perception check. You have advantage. Oh no, it's
dark. Oh, there's one thing I'm going to do before we get there, because I can do this. I'm going to take out the phosphorescent moss from my component pouch and sprinkle it on the broom and cast light on the broom itself.
Okay, so we're on a flying, glowing broom.
Yeah.
Your broom has headlights.
I basically cause a sphere of that bioluminescent algae to grow on the end of the broomstick. I can do that.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
All right, so we fly up, roll a perception check, advantage and disadvantage canceling out to normal roll.
Yeah. I was hoping to light my name or something, but it's fine. Yeah. 20 total.
You do not see anything on our way to the wall, but once we get here, we notice out to sea. Do you remember what happened? What the reason the klaxon was for last time?
A ship was under attack by sea monsters.
Yeah. Now there is a ship that's on fire. It's way off. It's like on the horizon. You can see it on fire.
So there's no way we can make it to it yet again.
Brooms.
Fly speed of 50 feet.
Yeah, it will take hours to get there. Well, not hours. Sorry, we were flying, so it'll be less than hours, but it'll take.
It does not matter.
Longer than whatever's happening there.
The ship has minutes, if not seconds.
Yeah. By the time we get there, it'll be a done deal. Matter of fact, as we're discussing this, the light is diminishing.
This has happened a few times now.
This will be the second time, yes. And within a couple of minutes, the light is gone.
Lyria has bad luck with ships, apparently.
Yeah. Well, last time was because of the Isle of Fog. And
I don't think we can blame it again for this, but it might be responsible.
It is roughly in that area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's in that direction. And yeah, the rest of the evening goes by. Well, nothing else happens.
All right.
So,
go
back to bed.
Go back to bed.
We wake up later in the morning so we can have our long rest.
Yes.
And
you said there was a scroll you wanted to work on.
Well, we're not going to get to that because apparently there's some activity at the harbor, some excitement of some kind.
All right. I guess we should go see what's going on then.
Yeah, apparently a ship has come into dock and they have picked up a lone survivor from that ship that apparently the ship that went down, this guy was from it. And yeah, he has burns on his body. He doesn't know what happened. So
Can you examine him?
I will try and persuade my way to have a look at him. Say, yeah, doctor, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a reasonable roll. They let me in. To have a look at this poor fellow. He's in rough shape.
I will assist you with this medicine check if I can.
All right. You can pass me the instruments.
Yeah.
Well, I think my curse is finally over. That is a 22. I said, yeah, this is not fire burns, though. He has electrical burns on his body.
All right. Arcana check
Right.
to determine. Yeah, just to see if I know of any dragons that can use electricity.
Well, this is a really low DC.
Yeah, with an Arcana check, that's a total of 20.
Yeah, didn't need it.
There are 2.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that it was a ship that was attacked, and this is clearly an act of aggression and violence, and the fact that we're near a coastline, I think the obvious choice is the fact that they were probably attacked by a blue dragon.
Someone is stepping up their game.
All right, I say to you, well, I think that's about as much confirmation as we needed.
Yeah. Oh, just as we're coming to that conclusion, we're just talking to each other, and a little bird flies in and lands on something, and then shapeshifts into the Archmage as he has a look as well. And we all share this knowing look.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't have to say anything.
No, we don't. We also probably don't have to keep this secret much longer. If this thing is getting this bold.
Do you say that aloud?
No, I'm just thinking to myself.
All right. Emotions that we should walk.
Yeah.
Well, someone's getting bolder.
I said, yes. As far as I'm concerned, that confirms what we feared.
Yes.
The number of creatures that can do all the things that we've seen is very small. If we're
technically, a wizard can do all this, but
yes,
I agree with you guys that your conclusion is a blue dragon.
yes.
I like
in case you're curious, I just decided last night. I decided to try just using my divination magic to just try and scry the area for a dragon or the blue-eyed child we encountered previously, which may or may not have been it. No result.
Yeah, well, apparently it was way over there. But they can fly. They can fly.
They can. And
put this under your hat for the moment, please.
We will, but I also want to point out the fact that that survivor didn't suddenly come back ashore with electroburns screaming that a dragon attacked the ship. He said he didn't know what happened.
Yeah, the problem is either with trauma and or sleeping in your bunk or whatever probably saved his life. I mean, he wasn't where the major amounts of damage was happening. It survived.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, this is something that's going to be ongoing, I suspect, until either it makes a mistake or something.
Yes.
For the moment, panicking people won't do any good.
No.
So yeah, I've sent some words out. Shipping is going to be a problem. Getting people back from that fog is going to be a problem.
Yes, it might be trying to ensure they do not return.
Yeah, We're playing a game of chess with something that's been alive for a very, very long time.
Yes, and that means if we wait around, it's probably going to win.
Yes. He says this in he has a smile on his face. Want to go kill a dragon?
Well, we need to find out where it is first.
And so it's not serious, by the way. This is something that we need to take seriously as well.
Yes.
All right, I have some stuff to do. I'm sure you have stuff to do as well. And he heads off.
All right then.
So yeah, things are afoot.
They are indeed.
So a few more days are going to go by.
Yes.
More. I've finished my research on my potions.
Yes. You don't have the ingredients you need, but
yeah, I can't make any. I am going to make some more scrolls.
Yeah.
That's going to just off camera stuff. It's nothing major. I'll do the rolls and whatever later on. There's one thing I want to do after a couple more days go by. I want to go talk to Rosemary.
Yeah. One thing I'm going to want to do, since we're all but confirmed the fact that there's going to be a dragon nearby, is I am going to make a second scroll of Ice Storm.
All right.
So at some point I'm going to do that.
Yep.
Just because it's one of my bigger long distance area of effect spells.
Yeah, you don't want to go doing,
I don't want to match breath weapons with a dragon.
Might lose.
Win.
Yeah. I'd rather be 300 feet away.
I'd rather be further than 300 feet away, but I'll take what I can get.
Yeah. All right. We do some research. We do some scroll making. A few more days go by. Nothing unusual happens as far as possible dragons or anything else for that matter. We go, and I want to talk to Rosemary one more time.
Okay.
Uh,
Also, depending on how many days have gone by, the first of those daggers might be ready for relatively soon.
Yeah. Well, I planned for us to have about 3 weeks of downtime.
Yes.
It is not all going to be downtime, obviously, because things are happening.
Yes.
But yes, we've been running ragged for quite some time.
We need some rest, because apparently we're not going to get much of it in the future.
We're adventurers. Rest is not our thing. So, I want to talk to Rosemary.
Yes.
This is basically involving, she knows where there is a Hydra lair, because that person, her contact or whatever,
yes,
was dealing with for quite some time. Well, she had a deal with them, and that deal in their case was to bring material, and she'd buy it from them. What she wants to do with us is, now that I can actually make the potions myself, do a trade, knowledge of where the lair is for a split of how many she gets versus how many we get.
All right.
So that needs to be worked out still. So I don't really want to go into details for that right now. But yes, we're going to find out where there is a lair for Hydra. That we're going
Means we might end up fighting a Hydra.
Yeah, not a good thing.
No, because you want to keep collecting its shed skin by the sounds of it.
Yes, it is a resource, not something we want to kill.
Mm-hmm.
That is for a future day. I
Yes.
just wanted to let that be known now, because it's something I want to do, because if we are going to go take on a dragon at some point,
I mean, it does seem to be heading in that direction.
A superior potion of healing is better than what we currently have.
And we currently have one.
Well, yeah, we actually
I currently have one. I bought it.
Yeah, bought it. Yeah. So healing is going to be very, very important.
Yes.
And if going forward, this thing really does pan out to be a blue dragon. If I remember correctly, Rosemary had some potions of
Resistance.
resistance for lightning.
She actually had just a bunch of them in stock for all of them.
So
because basically it just requires her to vary the recipe a little bit.
Yeah. Personally, I can use my stone.
Yes.
But something you need to think about. We do have that potion of invulnerability.
Yes, that is a very powerful protective potion that can be used once.
Yeah. Very, very, very rare.
Yes.
One I will never be making.
No, because the DC on that would be 25.
Yeah.
And you're struggling with 20 at the moment.
Yeah. All right. So that basically covers a lot of stuff. Like I said, between now and our next session,
Yep.
a few more days are going to go by, mostly downtime for making scrolls. Yes. And preparations for possibly a dragon.
Yes, possibly a dragon, and whatever else we're going to have to deal with in between now and then.
Well, we do have that necromancer to deal with.
Yeah.
We do have whatever Bree's up to.
Whatever Bree's up to. I mean,
minor, but
minor by comparison.
Yeah.
We should probably look into that.
Yeah, and then we have Aldrich's, all his stuff. And then dragon.
And dragon, yes, okay. So we're going to learn how Aldrich feels, I suspect.
Yeah, a lot on our plate.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we took a few weeks off.
Yes, and we still have about a week's left of downtime left, I suspect.
So for the next session, Rosemary will finish the daggers.
Yes.
Again, it is one of those things that
not really going to come up very much, and definitely not coming up against a dragon, because we're not going to want to get anywhere near this thing.
No, that's going to take some serious planning. But
yes, there's a reason that dragon slaying is the stuff of legend.
Yeah, and unfortunately, our notoriety is not going to serve us well in that case, because I think if some sort of thing comes up where an expedition is going to be mounted, I think our names are going to get bandied about quite a bit.
Yes. This might not even be a volunteer situation. We just get conscripted.
Yeah.
Then again, well, that's a difficulty for another day, I suspect.
No, not today for sure.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. So,
all right, then.
Lots of stuff.
And with that, I think we will bring chapter 50 of our campaign to a close.
Yep.
And there goes me thinking it might have been boring.
Yeah, sorry about that. We had a lot to catch up on.
We had a lot to catch up on. We needed some downtime, but good grief did we foreshadow a lot and a lot of plot threads there. So, thank you for watching, everyone. Please remember to like and subscribe, and please join us here again next time as we go forward in our adventures in the wilds of Taiga, the area around Lyria, and by the sounds of it, possibly dealing with a dragon.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Well, if you're going to complain about dragons in your campaign, do not play Dungeons and Dragons. They make up half the game's name, and we've dealt with the other half plenty.
Yeah, we are getting into that realm where some of the monsters we come against are serious.
Yep. Thank you for watching, everyone. Good night, everyone.